Hello, friends. It's Audrey from Odds and Ends, and welcome to hashtag Flip Through Friday. It is Friday, so this is hosted by Gwen the Trash Witch, and you are welcome to flip through anything. It could be a book, it can be a journal, magazines, your shopping hauls, pretty much anything you can flip through, you can show. So today I am going to flip through this Sew Everything Workshop book. I got this a long while ago. Back in the, I don't know what date it was. Let me look. Publication of this book, 2007. It was one of those get 10 books for a certain amount of money, like $20 if you buy one or two books at full price. Well, me as the book addict, I didn't have a problem with that. So I took advantage of that. And I bought quite a few. Okay, most of my books were crafty books. And this was one of them. And it's called Sew Everything Workshop by Diana Rupp. And it comes with 10 original paper patterns. I've never opened it. Right now, my sewing machine is seized up. It is like, it powers up, it moves, but it's like it's going through a quicksand. My guess is it needs to be oiled, and I cannot find my machine oil, which I'll just have to ask my husband, because he uses it to use oil that hair clippers and miscellaneous tools. So I'm sure it's around, and then I'll see if that does it. But if it doesn't do it, I'm giving up, and I'm just going to go buy a new one, because that one, it wasn't very much money. I've had it for 25 years. Pretty much only did it for itty bitty crafts, but I've got quite a few dresses that I bought that are in the coolest patterns. I got some with tarot cards. I got some, with Halloween prints, but they're one-piece dresses with fitted waists, and they don't fit right because I don't wear the same top size as I do bottom size. So it's like one of them, half of it will be too big, half of it will be too small, or I'm really long-waisted and they just fit funny. The waists aren't in the right place. So I want to separate it and make them different pieces, and either keep the parts I like or alter the parts that don't work, etc. Because I don't want to get rid of them. They were nice dresses, but they're not nice dresses if you don't wear them. And I've already dropped one size in pants, and I know I'm going to need to alter some pants, or I'm going to be donating them quicker than I thought I was going to. But I mean, that's okay. But some of them I like, and if I just take them in a little bit, that's fine, until every part is too big, and then obviously that doesn't work anymore. So let's flip through this book. Okay, it's step-by-step beginner's guide. Oh, we don't need acknowledgments. I don't care about that. Learning to sew, gearing up, ready, set, sew, material matters, layout, and cutting, the sewing playbook. And let's just get to the nitty-gritty. Of course, how to start your own sewing circle, 10 reasons why they sew, gearing up, build your own inspiration board, pick a home base, get organized, what you need: a cutting table, a sewing table, a comfortable chair with a strong back, ironing board with a steam iron, lots of shadow-free light. Table tip: in a pinch, you can use a big dining room table or the floor instead of a real cutting table. Either of these options will work quickly, take a toll on your body, so jack up a waist-high table with cans so it's at least 30 inches high. Your neck and back will thank you. If you're working on the floor, take breaks and stretch. Chair tip. Some sewers like an office chair with wheels so they can roll from table to ironing board without standing up. If you're doing this on carpet, get a hard plastic mat to keep the wheels in motion. Hang on 1 second. Get some reading glasses because it is late and my eyes are tired. And then I tell you what kind of different scissors, dressmaker shears, embroidery scissors, pinking shears, regular scissors, tape measure, chalk, tailor's chalk, pins and cushions, a sewing gauge, sewing ruler, disappearing ink marker. Then get the different between, shows the difference between needles, hand sewing needles, thread, seam ripper, steam iron, ironing board, magnetic seam guide. I don't think I have that. A press cloth. I used to, not 100% sure I still have. Don't be a dummy, invest in a dress form. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Okay. And then we have the mechanical and electronic. Okay, ask yourself, am I an independent gal or guy who sees sewing as a basic life skill and plans to stick to everyday jobs like hemming pants or sewing a simple A-line skirt? Do I see myself around to every pattern in this book? Do I want my finished projects to look like they came from a really nice store? If yes, then you need something as solid, straightforward, and mechanical and plastic-free as you. Considering hooking up with a mechanical sewing machine. These machines have all rotary parts and discs inside called pattern cams and produce a variety of stitches. They cost about $100 to $400. The good ones have all metal parts and at least 12 stitches, including those suitable for stretch knits, droppable feed dogs, and a one-step buttonhole. Ask yourself, do I have inspirations to be a future Project Runway contestant whose finished garments, even alterations, have an artsy flair? Am I a home decor diva who fantasizes about monogramming Egyptian cotton towels and is intrigued by upholstery techniques like pipe seams and tufted cushions? If yes, you need an electronic sewing machine to keep up with your wildest sewing ambitions. These machines have mechanical components with some circuits added. They create stitches with cams and even a computer. Electronic machines cost $400 to $800. Good ones have drop-in bobbin, automatic needle threader, one-touch button for needle up and down, multiple needle positions, 20+ stitch patterns, decorative buttonholes, and speed control. It's enough to make you swoon. Now, increase those prices by at least 20 to 50% because, you know, it's 2026 now. Okay, then we have Surge Ahead. Not for beginners, etc. We're not going to go over that. I have no desire to ever be that good of a sewer and do that. You can buy sewing machines at chain stores such as Sears or Target. But if you're new to this hobby, it's better to shop at a sewing machine dealership. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go to Amazon. So, anyway. Oh my goodness, look how cute this little vintage singer is. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're just gonna go flipping through. It says the anatomy of your sewing machine, your parts, how to do, it shows you exactly how the bobbin, how it works, etc. I see these all the time. Make it no thread stitching on paper. This is how they sewed the emperor's new clothes, on a machine with no thread. It's a good idea. No worries about tangles or tension. Although stitching on paper is different than sewing fabric on a threaded machine. You still get a feel of the speed of things. You can practice your straight seams, and you get used to the routine of raising or lowering the presser foot and needle. Find a piece of lined notebook paper or legal paper. Select a straight stitch and a needle length about 2.5 millimeters to 3 millimeters. Place the paper under the needle about a ½ inch down from the top edge. Turn the flywheel. Do 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 do. Well, you can do that and add the thread too. We all know that. Okay, it shows you how to load the bobbin, etc. Pinning for machine sewing, stitching your first seam, sewing a curve, turning a corner, setting, adjusting, and maintaining different kind of stitches. Make it a stitch sample tea towel, and it's got all these examples there. And the Zen and the art of sewing machine maintenance. So here's a little cross stitch. What would Martha do? And then here's how to make a sewing machine cover. Ironically, I have a hard plastic cover for mine. Material matters. And it shows you all this. Here's looms and the different weaves of fabrics. Got a plain weave, twill weave, a satin weave. What's a non-woven? Felts are non-woven. Little fibers, usually wool, are smushed and compressed together, so they tangle and become solid. Felt has no grain because the fibers go every way. Netting is knotted like loose macrame. Leather, suede, vinyl, and real fur aren't even made up of threads. Fake fur, ultra suede fleece are non-wovens. And then we've got the canvas, chintz, corduroy, denim, dotted Swiss, eyelet, muslin, printed cottons, quilted cottons, and shirting. Ticking, toile. Oh, how do you pronounce that? Wool, cashmere, felt, flannel, gabardine. I couldn't remember that word the other day. Jersey, faux suede. Fleece, lace, linen, silk. And then we have linings and interfacing. Yeah, interfacing goes between the layers of fabric to provide stability and form. It looks like flattened cotton candy. It's really good when you're doing paper and your paper wants to, the needles want to go straight through the paper and tear it all apart. Okay, how to shop for your first project, finance factor, use your pattern envelope as a guide, 10 fabric commandments. Only buy fabric you love. Always choose the right fabric for your project. Let the pattern be your challenge, not the material. Skip high maintenance fabrics in favor of those that you can wash and wear unless you have a crush on your dry cleaner. Shop for fabric one project at a time. Can't bear the thought. See commandment number 8. Get as much fabric as you need the first time around. Fabric often sells out. Pick a 60-inch fabric width over one that's only 45 inches because the wider the fabric, the less of it you will need. 8. Buy 3 yards of fabric you just plain love, but you have no idea what to do with. This amount will keep your options open when you're ready to use it on a project. Number 9, put unknown fabrics like vintage or thrift store to the test. Cut some off, jot down the measurements, wash, dry, and measure again. If it shrinks, dry clean whatever you make from it. And be kind to the things you make. Even machine washable fabrics take a beating in the washer and dryer. Consider hand washing. And then we've got notions such as bias tape, elastic, gross gain, piping, pom-poms, rick-rack, seam binding, twill tape. We've got buttons here and different closures, layout and cutting. It tells you how to read a pattern, preparing it. Papers, my hands are dry and the papers don't want to split up. And then it shows you how to pin and all that fun stuff, and we're not going over this today because we are not sewing today. Maybe, if we're lucky, we'll start sewing in September. I gotta get the dollhouse done. But September seems like a good time because I'm gonna need to pull out my fall clothes by then. And maybe we will tackle a sewing project. And then you got your tools and measurements and clothing. And here's patterns, and then we have suggested things. So let's glossary, stitch, sew. Got a whole bunch of projects, sample projects in here, and the patterns are in the front in that pocket that I've never opened, so I know all the parts are still there. Make it longer. That's an apron. I like how sewing aid for turning tubes also is good for pulling elastic through things. Got nighties and boxers and tunics and pants, and those are yoga pants, and we've got a breezy easy wrap skirt. But yeah, pretty straightforward stuff. I will have to remind myself because it has been quite some time since I've sewn anything. I know how to do hems and basic things, but general following a pattern, it's been since high school. And my mom was usually around to help me, or my grandma, and because they used to sew things all the time. And like I was telling somebody else, I only had one purchased Halloween costume my entire childhood, up until I'll say 9th grade. Everyone except for one of those 70s Casper the Friendly Ghost plastic costumes with the face mask. That was the one year that my mom finally gave in and let me purchase a Halloween costume. And I hated that mask. It didn't breathe. It was so hard to see out of it. And then I decided that my mom was right, and homemade costumes were the way to go. So anyway, thanks for my flip through. I know it was kind of long. And for those who followed along with me, thank you. I have some funner books I will show in the next couple weeks. I got Sew What with Bags is a really cute book, and they'll probably be next week. Okay, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.